So you're ready to buy your first sailboat. Maybe you've taken a few lessons. Maybe you want to buy a boat so you can teach yourself to sail. Maybe you've just been dreaming about it for a few years and you're ready to take the plunge. Either way, you want to get on the water without spending a fortune. You want a boat that won't overwhelm you as you learn the ropes. I've been sailing for over 30 years now. I've owned somewhere around 18 to 20 boats along the way. Some of them have been great. Some of them have been mistakes right from the start. I'm here to try and help you keep from buying a mistake so you can get off on the right foot with sailing and owning a boat. If this is your first boat, I recommend starting with something somewhere between 14 and 27 feet. That is the range from an adult single-handed dinghy up to a small cruiser. We're going to stick to boats in that size range and go through what to look for and where to find them. First, let's talk about what makes a good beginner sailboat. The best starter boats are stable, simple to rig, and forgiving to sail. You want something that helps you build skills without biting you back every time you make a mistake. You also want something affordable, boats that are easy to maintain and cheap to repair. Key things to look for: something that is suitable for the places you plan to sail, a simple sloop rig, one mast and one head sail, or a cat boat with just a mainsail, a solid fiberglass hull, no cord hull boats, something that is in sail-away condition when you buy it, something with good parts availability and owner support. What to avoid: overcomplicated racing rigs, neglected project boats that need a ton of work just to be able to float or sail, and boats that are too big or too small for where you want to sail. Remember, your first boat is about learning, not impressing anyone. Let's talk about where you plan to sail. Is it a small lake or more open body of water like the Chesapeake or Great Lakes? Are there marinas around for storing and launching the boat? Do you need to use a boat ramp or beach to sail at the lake? If you're going to be keeping the boat in a marina in the water, it is a good idea to call around the marinas and ask about the costs for the boat wells or slips and other costs such as winter storage. A slip for a 27-foot boat can run from a few hundred to a few thousand depending on where you are. If you're sailing in a small lake with a boat ramp, then you need to stick to a trailerable boat. I recommend going for something like a Sunfish if you're going to sail alone, or an O'Day day sailor if you're going to learn with family and friends on the boat. If the lake is larger and you want something bigger you can spend the night on, you can look at small swing keel trailerable keel boats such as a Catalina 22. If you're heading out into saltwater, the Great Lakes, or another large lake and want something you can take for an overnight sail, then look for a small cruiser in the 25 to 27 foot size range. Catalina 27s are the near perfect boat in this size range. You can get them for just a few $1,000s, and they have a lot of options such as outboards or diesel inboards. They're big enough to have all the systems of a big boat, but small enough to be easy to push and manhandle around the dock while you're learning docking. What are some things you should avoid? Don't buy anything bigger than a 30-footer for your first boat. These are too big and heavy to just push around the dock. Docking and marina skills go up to another level, and you risk doing a lot of expensive damage to your boat and others in the marina while you're trying to learn. Don't buy a project boat for your first boat. You want to spend your time sailing and not fixing. If your projects take more than a few weeks to get you on the water, there's a better than good chance you'll give up and sell or abandon the boat before ever sailing it. Don't buy a boat that is in very rough condition with a rotted out deck and trashed interior with broken rigging. Free boats can oftentimes be the very most expensive boats. You can easily spend more on repairs than just buying a ready to go boat in the first place. Don't spend all your money on just the boat. There's going to be some expensive repair or upgrade the boat needs that isn't apparent when you buy it. No matter what survey or inspection you do, this is going to be true. Leave yourself a nice buffer to pay for the unexpected costs that will happen. Don't buy something really obscure that is impossible to get parts for. Catalinas have Catalina Direct for parts and support for even their oldest boats. It's pretty easy to find parts for Hunters and Venetos. Do some searching for the boat you're looking for and see how much talk there is from current owners and where they get parts from. If this is your first boat, I recommend getting a sea trial for the boats so you know that all the parts are there and it works. Get the current owners to take you out for at least one sail. This will also help you discover if there's any weird things that the past owners have done. I once bought a 1970s Seafarer 31 Ketch. I wanted something that kind of had a classic look to it. I did not do a survey or sea trial on the boat. Had it shipped back here from Lake Superior on a truck. First time out on the boat, discovered that the exhaust was run up on the right side of the boat ahead of the cockpit. Every time you motored the boat, the exhaust blew back into everyone. I did not keep this boat for long. If you're going to keep the boat in the water at a marina, look for something that is in the local area or not that far away by water. Shipping a boat can get very expensive very quick. It can turn to a logistics nightmare if the boat is in someone else's yard or at a marina that can't load it. So now you know what to look for, but where do you actually find these boats? As I mentioned earlier, I've owned a lot of boats over the years, and I bought them from a variety of places. Most have come from Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, a couple from brokers, but usually I've gone private seller instead. So let's look at some of the more popular places to buy a boat. Facebook Marketplace, it's great for local boats, tons of affordable listings, especially older boats and fixer-uppers. It's easy to browse and message sellers, but you'll have to sit through vague ads and be ready to act fast. Because it's connected to real profiles, there's a bit of extra trust, but communication can be hit or miss. Deals go quick, so check it daily and message quick if you see something you like. Craigslist, a longtime favorite for sailors. It's a goldmine for budget boats under 30 feet, especially in boating towns. You can often find great deals on older boats that never make it to the yacht brokers, but be cautious. Listings can be outdated, vague, or scams. Use search filters or sites such as Search Tempest to make searching easier, or use the mobile app's radius tool to expand your area. Always meet in person and verify everything before buying. Yacht World is the website run by yacht brokers. It's more for high-end boats, but they do sell some lower-end, used, cheap, affordable boats. The listings are detailed with full specs and good photos, and you can use powerful filters to search by location, length, price, and model. If you're looking for something with a little bit more turnkey and want the help of a broker to find it, this is a good place to browse. Just expect prices to be higher since the brokers take a pretty good commission. Also note that brokers are more interested in selling, $50,000 to $100,000 boats than they are $10,000 boats, so they may not be very responsive to your notes and communication on a cheaper boat. Here's some other good sites to check also. Sailboatlistings.com. This site has a tons of listings from private sellers, including older and inexpensive boats. The interface is basic and kind of awkward, but you can sort by length, price, and state. You can find some boats here that aren't listed anywhere else, but most of them will be on Marketplace or Craigslist also. Boat Trader is kind of a mix between Yacht World and Facebook Marketplace. It has a lot of brokerage boats, but some private listings also. And you'll find some, boats you won't find anywhere else, but most of these you'll find on other sites as well. eBay can be a good place to find boats. They have a pretty good filter and segmentation between small and large boats. Communication can be hit or miss. I've had some good luck. I've never actually bought a boat off eBay, but I've looked there a lot. Local sailing clubs and marinas. Check out bulletin boards and websites. A lot of them have for sale pages or for sale bulletin boards where people put boats up who don't really know what they're doing online and don't list them online. So you can find a lot of boats here that are not available online or at a broker or anywhere else. Let's go take a look at Marketplace, Craigslist, and Yacht World just to look for a few examples. I'll show you some boats I like there and a few examples of boats I would avoid. So let's go have a look. This is Facebook Marketplace, the search page. You can put in the boat you're looking for. I put in Catalina 27. You can set your location and distance so you don't see boats that are too far away. And then you can set a price, max, and min. And you can see I searched for Catalina 27 within 100 miles, and there are a lot of them. If I expand the search out to, say, 500 miles or 250 miles, there's even more of them because this is a really, really common boat, and there's Catalina 27s everywhere. They're really common. I'll show you two examples. This first one is an example of one I would definitely look for. The sweet price range for a Catalina 27 is kind of between $5,000 and $10,000 if you want a really nice boat. This is an 86 for $7,750, which is right in the middle of that. You can see here it's got newer sails. It's been raced, so it's well maintained. It's not ugly looking. There's no scrapes or really obvious damage from a distance. Sometimes there is. Inside, there's no water on the bulkhead, at least in the image, and it's still got its interior cushions, and there's no visible water stains in the image. Again, the back of it's still fairly clean looking, and the wood looks nice. So this is a boat I would definitely consider going to look at. It's in pretty good condition. It's got self-tailing winches. This is definitely a boat worth looking at if you're looking for a Catalina 27. This will go to the other one. This is a 1975 Catalina 27. They're asking $800. I would just skip this one right from the start. As noted in the description, it's got no engine to start with. When you're looking at it, even from this distance, the boat is visibly dirty in the pictures, which leads you to believe it's not well maintained. It's also missing the mainsail. Rigging is missing in the picture. You can see visible scars on the side of the boat, like the white mark here. And, you can tell it hasn't been too well maintained. Inside, there's no interior cushions. And, you can see a lot of mud and junk on the floor, just to start with. If the boat's missing all its interior cushions, there's a better than good chance the boat's very leaky because cushions usually get ruined by water damage and, leaks with, wood rot, coming onto them. So if the boat's missing all its cushions, there's a better than good chance the deck is rotted also. And you can see this one's not, has no cushions. The wood's not really well maintained. It's no shiny. There is some water residue around the edges. If you see the fading right there. And again, the floorboard where the keel sump is, the varnish is completely gone. Doesn't look good at all. There's no zoom in on the chain plates here, but I'm going to guess if we zoomed in on those, there's probably some, visible, leak and wood rot in them. Again, no cushions in the front either, and just everything kind of haphazardly thrown in here. So this boat's been used, this is what I would call ridden hard and put away wet. This is that type of boat. You may be able to salvage it, but you might spend more money trying to make this nice. If you don't care about the boat, you don't care if it's nice at all, you want to go and try to find a really cheap outboard, and you just want to, sail the heck out of it and not care, then maybe this is something you want to look at. If you want something nice you can be proud of, this is probably a boat to avoid. So let's go take a look at Craigslist. I use a site called searchtempest.com to search Craigslist. You can put in what you're looking for instance, sailboat, for sale wanted, where you're located at, and then you have a variety of distances you can choose. And then it'll give you out, the list from Craigslist. And then from here, you can see the sailboats. And you'll get, search sailboats, you get a lot of other miscellaneous items also, like, pictures and sculptures. But, there's a big variety of stuff listed here. I'll just go through a few listings that I think are interesting. This is a West Wight Potter 19 for $3,500. The boat's got a lot of pictures. It looks fairly clean. The wood looks well taken care of. Everything looks clean in the boat. This is definitely one I would take a look at. Then here's a classic day sailor from O'Day, and it's a fairly clean boat. This is another one worth looking at. If you're looking at a trailerable boat, like in a non-keel boat, just a small trailer boat, there's plenty of them out there for $500 to $1,000. No need to spend any more. If it's under $500, there's a good chance it's kind of junky, but the ideal price range for a non-keel boat, just a day sailor dinghy boat, is probably $500 to $1,000. This is one I would avoid right here. This one, they're asking $300. The boat's quite junky looking. From the zoom off of it, it's very dirty, not maintained. Who knows if all the parts are there. For $500, you can get a really clean, nice boat. So there's no reason to, go for something like this. You don't even know if all the parts are there, so don't even bother looking at it. This is another one. It's kind of a telltale sign if the ad has like an old marketing brochure like this one does, because it usually means they don't have any nice pictures of the boat themselves. Then we go to the actual boat. You can tell it's kind of sitting here overgrown. And, who knows how long it's been since this saw the water. And, it's got plants growing inside of it. So, yeah, just skip this boat, too. Then going up to the small keel boats like this Precision 21, for $5,000. It's a really clean-looking boat. And, the interior is really nice. So if you're looking for the 20 to 22-foot range boats, $5,000 will get you something really nice. This is another kind of interesting boat. This is a Catalina Capri 18, which is a very small keel boat. It's an 18-footer. This is a nice example of one. It's clean. It's got the trailer. It's ramp launchable. It's a keel boat, so it'll be more stable than a boat that's a centerboard or dinghy. And it's got, a nice little interior you could camp for the night in. Not with a lot of you, but, it's a nice little boat. So those are a few good examples and a couple bad examples from what you can find on Craigslist. And again, the page I go to search, it's called searchtempest.com. So let's take a look at Yacht World. I've already set the search up in here. Again, you just kind of go to buy and sailboats and then set the filters up. So we're looking, in our case, an 18 to 27 foot boat. We're looking up to $10,000. And I didn't set a distance just so we get some options. In general, brokers don't like to deal with boats this inexpensive because they make no commission off of it. So that's why the selection here is really, bare. If you go up to, $20,000 to $30,000, you'll see a lot more options. But if you're looking for, an inexpensive beginner boat, the options are few. So we're looking at Catalinas right now, and you can see there's a couple of 27s and maybe a 25 or two in here, and they're all kind of in the high end of price for what they are. And then if we add another brand in, for instance, we look at Wet Hunters to the mix here also, just to see maybe a day also, because these are kind of the common old used boats, and you'll see a few more. But again, this isn't the place to find the cheap budget boat or the good deal. This is where you'll pay max dollar for the boat age you're getting, and the broker may or may not be that interested in helping you, but it is someplace you can look. And a lot of times you can find the boats listed on Yacht World somewhere else because the broker's just kind of being nice and listing it, but they'll still let the owners listed on, for sale by owner somewhere else also. And then we'll just look at this. This is an 8227, and you can see the pictures. There's a lot more detail here than what you'll see at the other sites. Most ads will have 20 or 30 images compared to 5 to 10, because Marketplace limits you to 10 images. Here they don't, so they'll tend to show you everything on the boat. Buying your first sailboat is exciting, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Stick to something small, simple, and proven. Focus on learning the basics and don't stress out about finding the perfect boat. The perfect first boat is the one that gets you sailing this season. Remember, you can always sell it and upgrade later. There are tons of great used sailboats out there for beginners. Take your time, do your research, and don't be afraid to ask other sailors for advice. Join online forums, visit marinas, and check listings every few days. Deals come and go fast, but there's always another good boat around the corner. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what kind of boat you're shopping for. I'd love to hear the story.